Welcome, Alchemedians. Welcome to 2024.
This is a very important year for movies, and there's a lot of good ones coming out. At least, hopefully.
I'll even say it. This is a year that I barely know what's going to happen. It's a very new coming year that this, I have no. It's just off my head.
High expectations, but low information.
Yeah.
I think they have reduced the amount of trailers, and the trailers that they have come up with are all to be announced because of the actor strike.
Yep.
And it does present a lot of changes.
Now, may we present the top 10 movies that we're excited for 2024. Number 10, Beetlejuice. No, it's just two times because it's Beetlejuice 2. Oh, yeah, that's right. Beetlejuice 2. Coming 2024. I've heard so many, top 10s already announced the fact that they're excited for this movie. I am actually really stoked about this movie. There's, this is the Halloween comedy movie that everyone kind of goes in, cheering for Beetlejuice for the fact that he is the villain, and cheering for everyone else because of how great they are as characters in general. So the fact that we get to re-see Beetlejuice, and I heard that Lydia comes back as Lydia, it's just absolutely mind-boggling to me that Beetlejuice is coming back, and that it's gonna feature everything about the original Beetlejuice.
Number 9, Craven the Hunter. Sony Marvel has done some impressive things with Into the Spider-Verse and with Venom over the last couple of years. I really liked Venom, and Craven has always been one of my favorite characters, and I am interested to see how they do Calypso. I really think the choice of cast is phenomenal, and hopefully we'll see more from this franchise. But for now, I'm this is takes a top 10 spot for a very good reason.
Number 8 for the movies that we're excited for 2024 is If. What's if? More like what if? And what is if exactly? Well, imaginary friends, basically. And it's gonna feature Ryan Reynolds and a whole bunch of imaginary friends that he has to give kids. Well, he has to give kids imaginary friends, basically. And that plot sounds so amazing, especially with the fact with all these new movies featuring Ryan Reynolds that have been so good and so creative and going all out with the creativity with everything they're doing. It's just, I am so hyped for If, and I'm glad we got it to the top 10 list that we have now.
Number 7, Orion and the Dark. Lately, DreamWorks has been knocking it out of the park with its movies, and even though this will just be a Netflix release, I think that this will be one of the best animated movies of the year just by the animation attached to it. The feature looks great, and I think the idea of a character befriending just darkness itself is interesting. There's not a lot of ideas that haven't been done over and over, and I think this one will have that classic feel that animation can have.
Number 6 goes out to all my musical fans out there. Wicked. the fact that this is gonna be a part one, and the fact that this is like, first of all, my top 10, like on my top 10 favorite musicals of all time, and like how big of a cast it actually like is gonna have. It's insane. It's insane that we've come this far to like actually put it like out in the big screen to show like what theater kids have been seeing for like years since Wicked came out. The fact that there's so much good music in it and there's so many good characters in it and just a good story all throughout just has me hyped. Has me hyped.
Number 5, Garfield. Um, Garfield has not had the best experience with CGI since, but I really think this movie will be better than like the first few movies he's had. It seems to have a more uh grounded, or maybe that's the wrong word, but it seems to have a cast that understands the character, unlike the live action versions, and but it has a budget behind it that the the series didn't. I really do think this version of Garfield will do better than a lot of the previous versions. At least I hope so. Only time can tell. Number 4, Inside Out 2. I think this is one of my most anticipated movies from Disney in a couple years. I love the first Inside Out, as a lot of people did, and I'm excited to see the new emotions like anxiety. I I think this movie connected with a lot of people, whether you were younger or whether you were already grown up when this movie came out. But I do think this is one of Pixar's crown jewels, and um, I don't. I think this movie will be one of the best movies of the year, if not the best.
Number 3, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Greatly placed. Very high, very high. Because the first movie was awesome and benchmarked one of the first times that movie editors edited out something for the audience's expectations and made sure that like the ugly Sonic that we saw before turned into something we actually wanted to see and actually something that was like actually viewable to the eye. And then the second one went all out with the game aspect of it that Sonic originally had with the game, and shouted out so many more things that we actually knew from the games, like Tails and Knuckles, and putting back Dr. Eggman again. Just all so good and put through and well thought of that a third one with a new villain most likely extremely it's there's so much hype that goes off of the height of how good they are. Number 2 is Deadpool 3. I so much meta-ness coming from this movie. The fact that this has been pushed back because of the writer's strike, and like the fact that we've heard so many things already about it that is pushed out so it can be in movie form. The fact that this is actually going to be part of like the Marvel universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it just being Deadpool and Wolverine, so good. And also, again, Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds lately has been in so many good movies, like back to back to back to back, that I'm not expecting anything less from Deadpool 3, because Deadpool Deadpool 2 really made me feel happy. Like, it made me, like, super excited. Like, and made me it feel like actual something Deadpool was part of. I'm excited for what Deadpool 3 will have in store for us. And now this is where we go into the terms where we're going to have honorable mentions, as like that it's done through many other top 10s. So, without further ado, here are our honorable mentions.
My honorable mentions will be, first off, Transformers 1. I think the idea of a prequel that to Transformers that show the story of Optimus and Megatron sounds amazing to me. And I and this story how it's played out, it is nice to see the beginnings. The other one will be the second one will be Godzilla vs Kong: A New Empire. Um, well, I think this will be more based around Kong, but the first one was based around Godzilla. Um, I'm kind of here for it. Uh, the first one was good, and the Godzilla movies have been well done as late, and I do hope they keep making them. And number one for me is Ghostbusters Frozen Kingdom. I've always loved this franchise, and the reboot, Rebirth, was was a movie that I was hyped for, and it met all my expectations. This one seems like it has the potential to be as good as as Rebirth or even Ghostbusters 2.
My top three honorable mentions are Madam Web, because there's so much ability to do a lot of things. Plus, I've heard so many things about like Spider-Man, and once I watched the cartoon, I realized who Madam Web was, and she's such a cool character, anyways. So I'm excited for her movie. The Quiet Place, the first day. I've seen the first Quiet Place, really good. I actually really enjoyed what was put on the screen for The Quiet Place, and it made me just feel so like into the movie. Whenever something happened, I was just pulled in. And then Mufasa, because I was one of the only people that liked the Lion King live action movie. And yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with Mufasa that's not Lion King 1.5 or Lion King 2, because this is something we don't really see through any of the live action movies where they put something original after they put down something that they took from the source material. And now it's time for TBD, or to be determined.
Uh, these movies are would be on our top 10, but we don't know.
Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff we don't understand. Like, there's no trailers about them, or there's no year set. It's just was expected to come out, but it's like no information about it.
Or with the pushback, it very easily could fall to 2025. Um,
Yeah, like Venom 3.
is one we've uh, been waiting for a while.
I personally loved the first two. There was stuff that happened in Carnage that was a little iffy, but like there, it was a fun time with both the Venom movies.
The second one is Paddington 3. Paddington series has been very well done and they've and everything was for a studio that's not had the best luck, they did very well with the Paddington series.
Yeah, he actually showed me the first Paddington, and I actually like really enjoyed it and really like got really deep into it that I just became enthused of it, and it really like made me feel for it. And I'm excited if there is a Paddington 3 coming out this coming year.
And number 1 is
Across the Spider-Verse, because we don't know. We don't know. There's a lot that is coming that we heard about that is coming this year, but we don't know.
Again, its original release was set in 2024. Whether it keeps that release or not.
Yeah, it might be because of the writer's strike, but we don't know, because honestly, even then, they didn't really talk about this movie like it was going to be released because of the writer's strike. So,
but we will wait for it, and we hope it comes out soon.
Yeah. And for number 1 for a movie that we're excited for 2024 is Kung Fu Panda 4.
Yep.
Just so much excitement came out. Once I saw the trailer, I was like, the Furious 5 isn't in this. And then once I heard about it, heard someone say that the Furious 5 is in it, I'm like, okay, this movie's gonna be as perfect as the other 3.
Yeah, I think bringing Tai Lung back and the Chameleon is a good idea, to show how far Po has come during his journey.
And they could show all the other villains through the Chameleon.
I do hope it connects to the Dragon Knight, but even if it doesn't, I think it still will be good. And yeah, I really hope that if this is the last movie, I do think this is the way to like go out on.
Yeah, for DreamWorks, I think that's what they're kind of doing, is setting up like last movies so that they could like refill nostalgia on specific moments, just like Kung Fu Panda, of how many Kung Fu Pandas we went on. Like, yeah, I'm so excited for this for the sake of Kung Fu Panda. All 3 of them have been amazing to me.
Yeah, and I think this will do well, and
it's super overwhelming to have like 4. If there's like a DVD box set of 4 Kung Fu Pandas, it's like, bro, we're gonna have a full 5 fist of awesomeness.
Again, I love the franchise, and I hope if this is the last movie, I couldn't think of a better way to go out on.
Yeah. Anyway, that has been our top 10 list of 2024.
We wish you a happy new year, and
wish you a lovely 2024, and I hope you all have a great day as well. Take care, Alchemedians.